Welcome back, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Sparkles. Today, we're going to explore the top 4 most valuable Roosevelt dimes, the beloved 10-cent coins of the United States of America. While dimes may seem small in size, some rare issues and error coins have sold for huge amounts in the collector's market. From valuable silver dimes, rare minting mistakes, and unusual color shades, these coins have become major players in the coin collecting and investing world. These rare treasures are not just tiny pieces of metal. They're pieces of American history, and some of the most valuable coin collectors are hunting today. So, if you're a coin enthusiast or someone who appreciates the beauty and significance of American currency, this video is for you. Back-end index pointing right. Let's dive in with a countdown of the top 4 Roosevelt dimes worth big money. Starting with number 1, Rocket. In the winding history of American coinage, few pieces stir curiosity like the Roosevelt dime. While most people toss it aside as a small convenience, the 1977 no-mint mark dime from Philadelphia hides a story far greater than its size. It is a coin that reminds us how even the tiniest denomination can command unimaginable value, provided it carries the right mix of rarity, history, and condition. What was once pocket change can, in the right circumstances, become a golden key to fortune. The year 1977 was an era of transition in America. The nation was pushing forward with technological innovation, preparing for a new century, but still rooted in traditions of the past. The dime, bearing the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, stood as a tribute to a president who guided the country through both the Great Depression and World War II. His face on the coin was more than an image. It was a symbol of resilience, courage, and hope in uncertain times. By 1977, the dime was no longer struck in silver, having shifted fully to a copper-nickel-clad composition after the great coinage changes of 1965. But silver or not, the 1977 dime had something rarer: the possibility of hidden varieties, minting errors, and pristine condition coins that collectors now seek with unrelenting passion. To those who know the truth, a dime of that year can be far more valuable than its metallic content. The no-mint mark issue from Philadelphia carried no small symbolism. Unlike Denver or San Francisco issues, the Philadelphia dime bore only Roosevelt's steady gaze, unmarked by a letter. This absence was not emptiness. It was a quiet signature of America's oldest mint, striking coins without the need for additional identity. And within these coins, tucked away in drawers, piggy banks, and forgotten rolls, exist specimens so flawless or so unique in error that they have fetched jaw-dropping sums. Collectors are drawn most intensely to condition rarities. A 1977 dime graded at the highest mint state levels, with razor-sharp detail and shimmering luster, is a prize that can command thousands at auction. Some carry the full torch designation, where every flame and line of Roosevelt's torch burns with complete clarity, a mark of near perfection that elevates a dime into a treasure. Beyond condition, error coins set fire to the imagination. Doubled dies, off-center strikes, missing elements, or even the ultra-rare transitional errors, coins struck on the wrong planchets, have emerged from this year. To stumble upon one of these is to uncover a lottery ticket printed not on paper, but in metal. It transforms the notion of 10 cents into the possibility of 10,000, or in some cases, far beyond. Imagine the scene: a small box of coins long forgotten in a dusty attic. Among tarnished copper and dull nickels, you pick up a dime that feels different. Turning in the light, you see the steps of the torch blazing perfectly clear, the lettering bold and flawless, the fields free of blemish. That single coin, overlooked for decades, could be the very spark that turns an ordinary day into a life-altering moment. The mystique of the 1977 dime is heightened by its place in history. America in the late 70s was confronting new challenges, economic uncertainty, and shifting political landscapes. Yet in the midst of this, the dime remained constant, a small but steadfast companion in commerce. It became the silent witness of countless stories, pocketed by workers, spent by children, stacked by savers, and now, decades later, it emerges as a vessel of fortune for those who recognize its deeper worth. Auction halls across the country have seen collectors battle fiercely over pristine 1977 dimes. What begins as modest bidding soon crescendos, with voices rising, paddles lifted and tension thick in the air. By the time the gavel falls, the world is reminded once again that greatness often comes in the smallest packages. This coin is not merely money. It is a lesson in patience, preservation, and vision. Where most people see only 10 cents, the collector sees potential. Where most dismiss a coin as common, the numismatist knows that rarity is often hidden in condition, detail, and circumstance. It is this contrast, the ordinary turn extraordinary, that makes the 1977 dime so enthralling. For those who hold one today, the advice is simple. Do not let it slip away at face value. Its worth is not measured by its size or even its metallic content, but by its story, its preservation, and its potential to change your life overnight. It is, quite literally, a coin with the power to rewrite destinies. And so, the 1977 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime remains more than just a relic of small change. It is a bridge between history and fortune, a talisman that proves value lies not always in what is seen, but in what is understood. To the fortunate finder, offers not just wealth, but a place in the grand story of American coinage, a reminder that the smallest treasures can hold the greatest power. Next up, the Roosevelt dime of 1980, struck at the Denver Mint with its proud D Mint mark, is more than just a small coin. It is a piece of American history that carries far greater weight than its size suggests. While most people glance at it and see only a simple 10-cent piece, those who understand its story know that it has the power to surprise, to reward, and to completely change the destiny of its holder. Some dimes of this year, because of their condition, rarity, or mysterious minting quirks, stand as symbols of unimaginable fortune. By 1980, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for 35 years, introduced in 1946 as a tribute to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the beloved president who led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II. The coin, featuring his profile on the obverse and the torch of liberty flanked by olive and oak branches on reverse, was both a memorial and a promise. Each time Americans passed this dime from hand to hand, they were carrying a small reminder of leadership, courage, and national resilience. The Denver Mint's 1980 production run was massive, but hidden among the millions of coins lie extraordinary treasures. Some collectors whisper of examples that appear struck with unusual brilliance, others that escape with mint errors so rare they seem almost impossible. It is in these rare specimens that value skyrockets, turning a coin worth 10 cents into one that could command thousands, tens of thousands, or more in today's passionate collector's market. Errors are what truly electrify collectors, and the 1980 D. Roosevelt dime has its share of legends. Doubled dies, off-center strikes, and transitional mistakes are spoken of in hushed tones. Imagine holding a dime where the torch flames are doubled, or the lettering has ghost-like echoes, a small misstep in the minting process that transforms a coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. In such coins, rarity and curiosity combine, making them as desirable as hidden jewels. Condition is another kingmaker. A 1980 D. Roosevelt dime found in pristine mint state, untouched by circulation, with every line of Roosevelt's hair and every flame of the torch sharp and bold, is no ordinary dime. At the highest levels of grading, these coins become symbols of perfection, their shimmer capturing not only light, but the imaginations of collectors worldwide. To own such a coin is to possess something far rarer than its millions of ordinary counterparts. Beyond the technical details lies the cultural history. America in 1980 was a nation of shifting tides, recovering from the oil crises, facing inflation, and about to enter a new political era. In people's pockets, the Roosevelt dime was a constant, trusted companion. It bought coffee, paid tolls, and filled parking meters. But in this sea of everyday commerce, the rarest of these dimes slipped silently into the flow, waiting for decades until collectors with sharp eyes would discover their hidden worth. Auction houses today tell the tale best. Stories abound of 1980, D-dimes in dazzling condition selling for sums far beyond expectation. What begins as a small coin brought forward in a simple envelope ends in a bidding war where wealthy collectors raise paddles high, fighting for ownership of a dime whose surface tells a perfect story. When the gavel falls, jaws drop, and the legend of the 1980 D-dime grows ever larger. The beauty of this coin is not just in its rarity or condition, but in its symbolism. The torch on the reverse reminds us of the light of liberty, the olive branch of peace, and the oak branch of strength. These were not chosen at random. They were chosen to embody the ideals of a nation. Owning a perfect or rare example of the 1980 D. Roosevelt dime is not only a financial triumph, but also a connection to those timeless values. Imagine for a moment the discovery of such a dime. Perhaps it rests unnoticed in an old change jar or at the bottom of a desk drawer where it has lain for 40 years. One day, it is plucked out, cleaned of dust, and examined under the right light. In that instant, its destiny changes, and so does the destiny of its finder. What once seemed like pocket change now gleams as a life-changing treasure. The lesson of the 1980 D dime is profound. Fortune often hides in plain sight. Where others see only a common coin, the collector sees potential, rarity, and untold value. This is the very heartbeat of numismatics, the art of turning history into fortune and seeing extraordinary stories where others see only the ordinary. If you hold one of these coins today, take heed. Do not let it slip away at face value. Protect it, study it, and if it carries the qualities of rarity or perfection, know that you have in your hand not just a dime, but a key to unimaginable opportunity. The difference between 10 cents and $10,000 lies in the details only the wise will see. Thus, the 1980 D. Roosevelt dime stands tall among the greats of American coinage history. It is a coin of modest size but immense power, a piece of the nation's story that carries within the chance of a lifetime. For the fortunate few who discover its rarest forms, it is nothing less than a ticket to a new destiny, a fortune hidden in the palm of the hand, waiting to shine in the light of recognition. Next up, the year 1990 marked another chapter in the long life of the Roosevelt dime, a coin that had been minted faithfully since 1946 to honor the memory of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. For decades, this small silver-colored coin carried with it a history far greater than its face value of 10 cents. By the time the Denver Mint produced its 1990 issue, the Roosevelt dime had become both a familiar companion in American pockets and an unexpected player in the world of treasure hunting. At first glance, the 1990 D-dime seems ordinary. Millions were struck that year, feeding the economy and rolling through countless transactions. Yet, within the ocean of coins produced, a handful stand apart. It is these rare dimes, born from minting quirks, extraordinary preservation, or mysterious errors, that hold the power to elevate their owner from ordinary to extraordinary. When collectors speak of this coin, they do so with the quiet reverence reserved for hidden gems that few ever see. Though by 1990 dimes were no longer made of silver for circulation, some stories persist of unusual strikes and experimental pieces surfacing, as if minted by accident or intention during transitional processes. A dime with silver content from this period will be a numismatic miracle, a ghost of history that defied the standards of its age. Such a coin would not be worth pennies. It would be worth fortunes, its rarity commanding staggering prices at auction. The Denver Mint, marked by its proud D on the obverse, was a hub of coinage in 1990. While most of its dimes circulated endlessly, a small number were struck in such perfection that they gleam today as if freshly made. High-grade examples, with razor-sharp detail and lustrous surfaces, are rare survivors of mass production. Collectors know that condition is king, and a flawless 1990 D. Roosevelt dime can leap in value far beyond its humble origins. Even more thrilling are the error coins. A misaligned die, a double strike, or a missing mint mark can transform an everyday dime into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. The 1990 D-dime has been known to reveal errors that make collectors' hearts race. Flames of the torch doubled, inscriptions ghosted, or portraits shifted slightly off-center. Each error tells a story of a fleeting moment at the mint, where machinery and chance collided to produce rarity. History gives the 1990 D-dime an added layer of intrigue. America in 1990 was standing at the edge of a new era, with the Cold War closing and the digital revolution dawning. This little coin, minted in such a transitional time, represents not only money but memory. Holding one is like holding a sliver of that moment in history, a piece of an America both closing one chapter and beginning another. For collectors, the Roosevelt dime has always been more than a coin. It is a bridge. It connects the presidency of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the struggles of the mid-20th century, and the enduring ideals of liberty and resilience. The torch on its reverse burns as a symbol of freedom. The olive branch represents peace. The oak branch embodies strength. In 1990, those symbols were as relevant as ever, and they remain carved forever into each dime. The marketplace for rare coins has shown again and again how ordinary coins can transform into extraordinary fortunes. Stories abound of collectors discovering a rare dime in pocket change, only to learn that it is worth thousands or even more. If a true silver or high-grade era 1990 D. Roosevelt dime were uncovered, the bidding wars would be fierce, the excitement electric, and the coin itself elevated to legendary status. Imagine the moment of discovery. You sift through an old jar of coins, and there it is, a 1990 D-dime shining differently. Its surface is immaculate or its design slightly askew. At first, you think it's just 10 cents, but as you hold it closer, you realize the truth. What you have in your hand is not only rare, but life-changing. A fortune disguised as pocket change. This is the allure of the 1990 D-dime. It reminds us that history often hides in plain sight, that treasures are sometimes overlooked, and that fortune can rest quietly in the palm of your hand. To the untrained eye, it is nothing. To the collector, it is everything. The great lesson this coin offers is patience and vision. Not every dime will be rare. Not every coin will be valuable, but the few that have potential to rewrite destinies. The 1990 D. Roosevelt dime is proof that greatness does not always come in grand size or golden weight. Sometimes, it comes in the form of a small silver-colored coin that has traveled unnoticed for decades. Thus, the 1990 D. Roosevelt dime takes its place in the story of American coinage, not only as a part of daily commerce, but as a coin of mystery, possibility, and fortune. For those lucky enough to uncover its rarest forms, it is not just money. It is a beacon of opportunity, a spark of history, and perhaps even the power to change a life overnight. Next up, the Roosevelt dime of 1,969 stands as one of those coins that most Americans have held, yet few have ever truly studied. At first glance, it is a simple piece of 10-cent currency, struck in Denver with a small but distinct D mint mark beneath the date. But as with so many coins in American history, its story is far larger than its size. Some examples of the 1969 D-dime hold mysteries and values that are unimaginable, capable of turning ordinary people into legends of fortune almost overnight. To understand the importance of this coin, one must return to its origins. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946 to honor Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the president who led the nation to the Great Depression and World War II. By the late 1960s, the United States was in another turbulent era, marked by the Vietnam War, social change, and a shifting economy. The 1969 D-dime was born into this world of transformation, quietly carrying the weight of its time while passing unnoticed through millions of hands. By 1969, the U.S. Mint had already ended the use of silver in circulating dimes, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition in 1965. Yet rumors and tales have long swirled of silver planchets, leftover blanks from earlier years, accidentally finding their way into production presses. If a 1969 D-dime were discovered struck on a silver planchet, it would be nothing less than a miracle coin. Such a piece could command breathtaking sums at auction, making its finder unimaginably wealthy. Beyond the composition, condition itself plays a crucial role in the dime's value. The Denver Mint struck millions of dimes in 1969, but mass production means most coins suffered scratches, dull surfaces, and circulation wear. A coin preserved in pristine mint state condition, with brilliant luster and flawless details, becomes a rarity. Collectors chase these top-graded dimes with fervor, knowing their scarcity in perfect form can elevate their worth dramatically. Errors also define the mystique of the 1969 D. Roosevelt dime. A misaligned die, a double strike, or an off-center portrait transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Such errors are fleeting accidents of the minting process, rarely caught but highly prized when discovered. A dime showing these traits could sell for thousands, far beyond its 10-cent face value, and in rare cases, far more. The Denver Mint itself adds to the legend. Known for its efficiency and volume, it still produced coins with unique quirks that have fascinated collectors for decades. The D mint mark is a small symbol, yet it carries an aura of intrigue. Any collector who comes across a 1969 D-dime knows to inspect it carefully, for it may not be what it first appears to be. Context makes this dime even more fascinating. The year 1969 was filled with monumental events. America was preparing for the Apollo 11 moon landing, cultural revolutions were reshaping society, and the Cold War loomed large. The coins minted during this year serve as silent witnesses to history, tiny tokens that traveled through grocery stores, gas stations, and pockets of a time when the world was changing forever. Think of the millions of transactions this dime could have passed through. A teenager might have used it to buy a soda at a corner store, or it might have jingled in the pocket of a factory worker in the Midwest. And yet, within these millions of dimes, a few carry the anomalies, errors, silver strikes, or perfection that make them priceless. That is the magic of the 1969 D-dime. Its rarity hides in plain sight, waiting to be recognized. The coin market has repeatedly proven that when a rare example surfaces, collectors and investors alike are willing to battle fiercely for ownership. A standard dime might be spent without thought, but the right 1969 D can bring in sums large enough to change lives. Imagine the moment of realization. A dime found in an old jar or tucked away in a drawer, revealed to be worth thousands or millions. That is the dream that fuels numismatic passion. What makes the 1969 D-dime so compelling is not only its financial promise, but its deeper symbolism. It is proof that greatness can come from the smallest places. A coin that might be dismissed as worthless pocket change can instead hold the power to change fortunes, if only one takes the time to see what others overlook. The Roosevelt dime, and especially its 1969 D issue, embodies endurance. Through decades of use, it remains a constant in American life, bridging generations while quietly carrying stories of minting mysteries, economic shifts, and personal fortunes. It is both ordinary and extraordinary, a paradox of history resting in your palm. So when you next come across a dime from 1969, especially one bearing the Denver mint mark, treat it with reverence. Examine it carefully, for within its small silver-colored body may lie the potential for unimaginable wealth, a relic of history, and the spark of a story powerful enough to alter your destiny forever. Thank you so much for watching this video. See you in next video. Goodbye.